What if I told you that you could have fun, pleasure, and play in the hard, challenging times? Would you want to know how to do that? Well, I'll tell you one of the hidden secrets. It's being able to be at peace with your emotional reality. And what I mean by that is you're not mentally like, okay, here it comes. Here's terror. Here's fear. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Yes, I'm good with it. I'm telling myself I'm good with it. I'm telling myself I'm good with it. Ugh, ugh. Instead, what you learn to do is you learn to be with the pure, raw sensations of fear. Now, why people have a challenging time to do that is because most people are walking around with a storehouse of fear that is from a way earlier time and charges and associations that got coupled in with that charge that is too much to handle for the nervous system right here, right now. So at first, you have to go in finely tuned and unwind these charges. This is my first pillar in my erotic relationship repatterning program, where we work at this charge clearing system and anchoring in a sense of safety to experience your whole humanity, essentially, because your whole humanity is pure sensation. And sensation is the language of the primal brain, the primal brain, the deepest part of our brain. It's a language. It only speaks in sensation. So if we start to understand the language of the deepest part of us that operates us, then we suddenly are very empowered and we feel safe to experience our reality. It does not dampen our ability to make the right choices, to discern when we need to take action, when we need to hold back. In fact, actually, it creates a lot more clarity, a ton more clarity. And you end up energy reserving because you're not leaking energy. Like our humanity is a natural human force. By trying to repress it or avoid feeling what is so natural and occurring all the time, it's like trying to hold a bunch of beach balls underwater. And then when the pressure gets released and it pops up, it comes out sideways. And then we start to associate, okay, there's something wrong with me. This isn't an okay pattern. The people that had experienced that outburst of the balloon, the beach ball coming up, they're validating and mirroring that that's not okay. Okay, I need to double down on pushing down these beach balls. It's not going to work. This is where burnout happens. And this is where you can also move into a very dangerous dorsal vagal part of the nervous system where you're collapsed, you're frozen, you're not able to do your day-to-day activities or anything because you've expended so much of your nervous system energy to try to push down these beach balls. So instead, first, charge clearing system and to anchor in safety. You need to be able to feel the storehouse of experience. And once that's combed through, now you have a fresh experience right here, right now of fear, loss, grief, sadness, heartache, but also ecstasy, bliss, joy, compassion, creativity, play. Now you're experiencing everything at this baseline of this more as it is, as opposed to this like lugged around charge and baggage of each of these specific sensations and emotions. So, if you want to keep living on this planet and having more joy, even through the hard times, being centered in love, being centered in creative solution in challenging times, because let's be honest, a lot of life can be really unsmexy. However, it doesn't have to be despairing and it doesn't have to take you. In fact, you can laugh your way through it. I have seen this again and again with my clients. I've seen this in my own life. Laughing together with your friends and community, finding creative solutions, leaning in as opposed to leaning out in an unhealthy way. All of this is yours to have. And I would love to hop on a one-on-one call with you. I do this with all my clients. It's completely free. And we get incredibly clear on what is actually going on. What is it that you've been doing up until now? Why is it not working? And what are the exact steps that we're going to do to get you to a place where you can enjoy the challenges of life, and even actually when you take this the whole way through, it becomes pleasurable. Of course, there's going to be challenging times where you're like, yeah, I really don't want this, really don't want this, but it's not going to stop you in the tracks. And you're going to be able to come back to center. You're going to move through it much, much more readily. It's not going to take up as much time and space for you. And ultimately, again, as I mentioned, everything in our life is pure sensation. When we can open to this just being a pure sensation, our pleasure centers open, our prana life force moves through us. And what you end up noticing is that there's a natural sense of turn on and you being titillated from life. You're just titillated and tickled from life, even through the challenging moments. So reach out, book a call with me. I'm happy to dive in with you. It would be my pleasure and my honor.